Sure. So this is where there's I guess in the beginning I find that it helps to create some constraints, and so we are trying to find better ideas. And as I mentioned today, we didn't talk a lot about traction modeling, but what we essentially want to do is first create some constraints on how big of an idea are you really looking for. It seems like a very simple question, but many times, depending on your project's goals or your company goals, there can be strategic initiatives, there can be revenue initiatives. But to me, I'm not trying to impose a forecasting exercise on the startups, but really more of a ballpark figure. So if you're trying to build, just for simplicity, I like to think in powers of 10, a $10 million a year business or a business idea or a $100 million idea, using that as a way to constrain the ideas is the first step. There are some modeling tools that a startup can use to do a bottoms-up model to see, can their idea even hit that possibility? In the VC world, that's precisely what angel investors and VCs do. When they look at an idea, they're not looking for, does this idea make this much revenue today? But they're looking at revenue potential, and they're looking at ballpark revenue potential. So that's the first step, is we're trying to see, is this idea big enough for us to even engage with? And there are some tools for doing that. If you're interested, just search for traction roadmap or traction model, and you will find some content on that. The next step is now beginning to see, does this idea have legs? So this is where we start using the evidence strength. So I talked about how all others bring, in God we trust, all others bring data. And so this is where, when you're working with your startups, looking at evidence that they have of the idea working is where you start to bring confidence, a confidence score to their ability to deliver. And again, there are some models here that you can use where you can start to see how much traction a team is generating. If we're using the demo cell build process, what is that pipeline of even interested parties? Do they have anyone interested in their idea? If the answer is 0, that's a low score. If they've got a pipeline of people who have seen the demo and said, if you build this, I will buy, and there's a letter of intent, they get a higher score. So using that score multiplied by the idea potential is a simple way of doing kind of lean governance of those ideas and picking the most promising ideas to kind of move through your pipeline or your idea funnel.